In Las Vegas, and we are just about ready for the first round of action here. Of course, it is booster draft. We just watched Nathan Steuer draft his deck, and he's sitting down against Francesco Latorre. Now, did you get a chance to look at what Francesco put together here for us?
Yeah, a little bit. He drafted a red-white deck with a light splash for Sir Armron, which is a card Nathan really wanted to table.
And that's the one that didn't come back.
Yes, exactly. And also a Yenna. Mana base looks okay, but does have a couple of filler cards in his deck.
Okay, yeah, we'll get a chance to look at the list here right now, Paul. This is Nathan Steuer's. This is one we just looked at before the break. Things that stand out: double up the beanstalk with the 3/5 drops. Can he stitch those together to get some value going? Also, the dark tutelage there on the splash down at the bottom stood out as a card that doesn't see a lot of play. Here's Francesco's deck on the other side. Oh, this looks a little messy.
Yeah, it's messy. I mean, look, you're looking to be kind of aggressive. You're playing 2 copies of Kindled Heroism, so you'd expect your deck to curve out well, but only 2 2-drops. With the cheeky house mouse, right? You're a red-white base. That questing druid is likely going to be going on an adventure first before you cast it anytime soon. So
wow,
this is not the time. Oh, excuse me. There are the 2 hopeful vigils on the bottom, which do help.
Yes.
But my typical red-white decks want more 2s and more 1s if possible, and this one looks to be kind of a slower approach.
Yeah, also the awkward mana base there with the Evolving Wilds, the 3 forests, and just sort of the random splashes. This looks like if you showed me 80% of this deck, I would say this is nice.
Right.
And then you show me the last and I go, uh-oh, what happened there? Just with consistency, if Francesco can put together consistent curve outs, that'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
But the times when he stumbles, it's going to really punish him because these decks need to curve out, especially against a deck like what Steuer has here. So let's see how this goes. An attempt at an aggro deck here from Francesco. Can he curve out? Yes, he can start off with Hopeful Vigil, so that's a good start straight away.
Yeah, I mean, 2-drop into 3-drop into Méry Bards.
That's
right? Put a young hero roll on one of your cards.
Yeah.
And Nathan with a pretty slow hand here.
Very.
Refuge Genealogist with no targets.
Okay, never what you want to do. So he's going to drop down to 18 off the attack here for Francesco. And he's going to continue the curve out with the Savior of the Sleeping to follow up.
Okay.
So there's Obzontron on turn 3 here from Steuer.
Yeah,
but he's going to need more.
Did draw one of the better cards here in his deck.
Mosswood Dread Knight's going to hit the battlefield. Off curve for him. But he needs a blocker, and that'll do the job.
Now Francesco doesn't have land number 4, so cannot play the Méry Bards and put a young hero roll on to one of the creatures, but does have a Frantic Firebolt if he wants to just get the Dread Knight off the battlefield and just keep putting pressure on Nathan, get in for 4.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But the Dread Knight is an extremely sticky and annoying creature to deal with, right? Because Nathan can simply, next turn, play a land, go on an adventure, and then replay it. Okay.
Not game 2.
So it looks like Francesco's going to take the slower route here, just an attack with the 3-drop there. But he's going to crack his Hopeful Vigil, and I have to say that Nathan's got to be happy to see that it wasn't worse.
Yeah, you know what Nathan's not going to be happy about? The Dark Tutelage he drew.
Oh no, really? He drew it?
He drew it, but you know.
Also has the land and
two Invil Guide in play here, but now dealing with a 3/4. If Francesco has a way to remove one of the creatures, can still get in with the Savior of the Sleeping.
He really does want to kill Untitled Guide. You know, even the potential for lifelink can be very scary, and we can see the Red Tooth Genealogist in hand there for Nathan Steuer.
Yeah, and that's going to help a lot, right?
Big hit, yep. So we'll see if Francesco can put something together here. He said he has a Frantic Firebolt, but
yeah, so that's
not quite enough.
Yeah, it's a 2-damage Firebolt here, so Francesco can go perhaps just attack with the Savior, see what Nathan does. If Nathan double blocks, then you can use the Firebolt, and that's a good trade.
Right. Oh no, he's going to go with Méry Bards and try to create a wider board. Young hero roll is going to go on the Knight.
So that's a 3/3 that attacks this turn. Are we just attacking with both?
Yeah, he is.
Trade. Yeah, sure.
And Steuer says, sure, I'll take the trade. My 2-drop for yours.
Yeah, but this grows, and now we have a 4/5 vigilance creature in play.
Right. But in the meantime, Nathan has the green light with the 2-Unveil Guide here.
Right. Red Tooth Genealogist and can cast the Mosswood Dread Knight off the adventure.
Cast this, put it into adventure. So I take 1 down to 11.
Yep.
He's going to start off with that. Make sure that he
see if there's a
sees
better
all of
option.
his options.
Very unlikely to
Right.
find something better than the Genealogist here.
Trigger
That's
Celebration
exactly what
to
it's going to do.
Royal World
That
here.
is Celebration. That does trigger.
So it attacks for 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3/4 with +1/+0.
Right, and lifelink for the turn.
So you're going to take 3. I'm going to gain 3.
Is it not 4?
No, it's 4.
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
You're at 16, and I'm
They must have
gaining
heard you,
4
Paul.
up to 50.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks. After that, it's your turn.
But I mean, even one hit like that against a red-white deck can buy you multiple turns.
Right. That is true. Now, Francesco's deck is a little more...
Yeah, I'm
It's
looking
more
at
like
it from,
Naya mid-range.
I'm looking at it from Steuer's perspective
of
and
course.
thinking, okay, it's red-white aggro.
Yeah.
We know it's kind of an attempt at it, but just with a few pit stops along the way.
Now, the question is, can Nathan play 2 permanents next turn? And it looks like he can. You got Curse of the Werefox into the Mosswood Dread Knight, right? Or the Dark Tutelage. And that means you can get an additional attack here with that 2-Unveil Guide for 4 in the air. So now this 2-Unveil Guide, typically not a card that sees a lot of play. I personally haven't played with it that much, but it's doing a lot of work this game.
It is.
It's doing its best Baneslayer Angel impression here, right? It's a 4/4
Yeah.
flying lifelinker here.
It's
Yeah,
Baneslayer Angel at home, no doubt about it.
4.
And there we go, 2 permanents hitting the battlefield here, and these are 2 real permanents as well.
Yeah.
Another 2-Unveil Guide in the air, ready to perhaps pick up that triggered ability once again from Celebration. And at that point, I don't know how Francesco's going to be able to pile on enough damage.
Yeah, Nathan's hand is fantastic. You got that Curse of the Werefox, plus another combat trick available in the Ferocious Werefox in his hand.
Right. He's also got enough mana to just use Ferocious Werefox plus Guard Change to once again make Celebration happen.
Right. Yeah, not sure if Francesco can outrace this.
He played Unassuming Sage last turn and paid, so he's got his Sage ready to go.
Yeah, so there's a Sorcerer roll on the Sage. If it does trade with the Dread Knight, that will continue growing the 4/5 Vigilance creature in play.
Yeah, the Dread Knights, if it trades for something, like,
Oh, yeah, it just
dude,
feels...
it's already traded for another, and he drew the card
Right.
off of it.
It's so
Just
hard
3
to
for 1-ing.
beat this card kind of in a late game situation, right? It just blocks forever, and when it does, it draws you a card and comes back into play.
It is a nightmare for Francesco. But he's going to go to combat.
Get in.
And this scry could be very important because he needs some action.
Yeah.
Nathan saying bottom.
Does have the Questing Druid.
Ooh. On top.
With the Questing Druid, you can exile the top 2 cards and play something on top if it's better than what's in play.
Can he cast it?
Okay, just happy to go with the trade. Now we have...
That's the bottom half, yep. Oh, man.
This...
That Dread Knight.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, Charm Clothier from Francesco.
Okay.
All right, Royal Roll Token.
And that's going to go on the Méry Bards this time.
So the nice thing about having the Clothier does mean that if Nathan plays 2 cards, you can block the 2-Unveil Spirit.
Sorry, yes,
However,
it's the graveyard.
the cards that Nathan has pumps that 2-Unveil Spirit, and it will turn it into a 3/4. 4/4 this turn.
The bigger guide or the smaller? He's got 2 of them now.
Yeah.
2 2-Unveil guides at the ready.
And of course, because rolls don't stack, can only have 1 on each of the guides that are in play.
That's right. Only 1.
Only 1. Good enough.
Double Baneslayer Angel here for Nathan. At least as far as Francesco's concerned.
Still close though. 12
Have we
to
seen
11.
any removal played by either player yet?
No. I mean, Nathan's holding 1, and Francesco's been pretty patient with that Frantic Firebolt in hand.
Or he just hasn't found a target for the dang thing.
Right, because the only target was the Dread Knight. The only target was the Dread Knight.
That's right. And right now he doesn't have a target either.
Giant Forest, I'll name...
hey, there's Utopia Sprawl.
I'll name Black.
Name Black.
That is in permanent number 1.
Right, that's really its role this turn.
And I think we're going to see a Curse of the Werefox here on the Tuinville Guide.
Jeez.
Killing the Clothier. Oh, okay, this is perhaps a little bit safer.
That'll take down the Charmed Clothier. And he'll get a monster roll on the Genealogist.
Right.
That is the second permanent entry. Now both Tuinville Guides are fired up.
This is 7 in the air with lifelink.
All with lifelink too?
Yeah.
But wait, there's more here from Steuer?
Just monster roll on the Tuinville Guide here.
Got a monster roll on this.
Yeah,
all right.
Going big.
Now that is
In the air with both of my, my guides.
And he's
an
gonna-
instant,
So
but
it's
just
8
doing it
damage.
now.
I'll gain 8, you go to 4.
Yeah, I suppose he said, well, there's nothing in the format.
Right.
What a life swing. That should do it.
This is the best I've ever seen Tuinville Guide.
I mean, I never see it at all.
Exactly.
Now I wish I played all the time. And we're going to get the top 2 cards exiled
Okay, hit a
here.
green. Flick a Coin has no great targets.
Yeah, Nathan has sidestepped burn spells very nicely here. Yes, these are the mid-tier burn spells, Frantic Firebolt and Flick a Coin, but they do see play. They usually kill something.
Right.
And in this case, they have not done so.
And Francesco just doesn't have enough offense here.
No, he's just getting rocked by these Tuinvale Guides. He really needed to kill that first one.
Right.
If he had drawn any instant or sorcery that he could have cast at some
Right.
point, then that could have been on the menu, but
Or find an adventure creature and trade off, right? Something.
Block Mary Barth.
instead he's just gotten life linked up in the air by it multiple times.
You missed the trigger on your card.
This is royal. This is not.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
you're good. They traded. Sorry about that.
Okay, I think Nathan might have thought that there was maybe a wicked roll or something. on
Young
that.
hero roll.
A young
I
hero
think.
roll.
That's
okay.
what he thought was on there. But that got pumped up by the Charmed Clothier.
Right, which
So.
is a royal
Good
Yeah.
adventure.
royal roll.
Yep.
Something?
Thank you.
Oh, now the Flick a Coin does kill one of the Tuinvale guys, right? Because that did put an
I
extra.
have a way to trigger it, but sure. It's fine.
What?
I'm just gonna play this and then return things.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I have 2 black.
Yeah.
So Nathan cast the bat for seconds to put enough permanents in play to attack for the final 4 points of damage with the Tuinvale Guide.
Once again with that Tuinvale Guide.
We're good to go.
Ready to start?
Nathan with that Utopia Sprawl start. Now it's a 1-lander,
Name
but
white.
Utopia Sprawl does mean it's a basically a 2-land hand. Then Nathan was able to draw that forest here.
Yeah. This is the turbo type of draw that you can get when you have Sprawl. He does need to hit some mana. And there it is, land number 3 here.
Go.
Great
Jeez,
start
and
here.
he gets to make a food.
Makes a food, has the Agatha's Champion and a Charmed Clothier to go with that Beanstalk.
Hey, these Utopia Sprawl leads to the most explosive draws you can get in the format. It feels unfair when you get to curve out with it. The question is, will he know he misses his land
no
drop
land.
here, Paul? He did do some sideboarding here as well, Paul. He put in a Voracious Vermin and took out the Dark Tutelage.
Makes sense against the red-white deck.
Interestingly, he also brought in a Swamp and a Plains and also took out a Swamp and a Plains. Remember, he's sitting right across from his opponent here. And so, you
So
know,
unsleeve the couple cards,
yeah,
unsleeve the couple
keep them on
cards.
their toes.
Sure.
I mean, they might
Yeah.
be looking over. Hey, what do you got going? Only
Right.
brought in 1 card. All right. So that's some veteran play there by
Yeah,
our world champ.
Absolutely. Now Nathan named white, right?
I didn't hear.
With the Utopia Sprawl, so can't go on an adventure here with that Mosswood Dread Knight, but
Awkward.
choosing not to play it as a 3/2. Just keeping up Titanic growth because, I mean, Francesco also has a pretty nice start here, right? With the turn for Sir Armand onto a Red Cap Thief.
Absolutely. The red cap thief treasure getting one step ahead here for Francesco.
8?
He's slamming now. This is kind of do or die mode here. And plus there's a follow-up play with the cheeky house mouse.
Land?
Land or dead?
Ooh, that is rough.
He does not look happy.
Yeah. I mean, stockpiling Celebrant or the Mosswood Dread Knight, just the 3-2 body against these. Yeah.
No, he's going to pack him up in a
that was
super quick game 2. Boy, that did not work out well. The perfect start there from Steuer with Utopia Sprawl in turn 1, but it fizzled very quickly from there.
Oh, and this is also a really awkward hand for Nathan. No forest with an incredible hand if he can find a forest quick.
Yes,
right?
He's like, please go so I can draw this forest off the top of my library.
No, that's not a forest. Oh, that's rough.
That's also his last land. He's on 6 cards here in game number 3. This is not how he wants to start off his defense.
The splashed questing druid just casting it turn 2. Aggressive.
There it is.
Okay.
Forest off the top. We got a game.
We got a game.
Root Rider Fawn can get him right back in this thing for Steuer. Oop, one at a time there for Francesco. And he's got Nitron on his side too. Both players just showing us how it's done.
It's an easy game here.
Never happened to me before.
Oh, look at this. The two-headed hunter with the double strike effect would be great here if Nathan blocks. Francesco's just main phasing the rat catcher trainee and making rats just to keep pumping that questing druid.
Yeah, he had it on turn 2. It will grow. Okay, no land drop here for Steuer, but he does have his signature card now. To Unveil Guide hits the battlefield. Can Francesco kill it?
There's a Stroke of Midnight.
Okay.
Oh, sideboard. Spider food.
Spider food is going to knock it out of the sky. What a curve out here for Francesco.
Jeez.
He gets a food token. No land drop here from Steuer, or is there?
Oh, no, another
he found a replacement To Unveil Guide.
Right, but now the Frantic Firebolt kills the To Unveil Guide.
It is live, and there it is. Firebolt for 3 to knock it out of the sky. And the haymakers are coming in on Nathan Steuer. He cannot get his feet under him. Can he do anything to help stabilize this board?
Draws a land, but Agatha's champion, there's nothing to bargain out here, so can't kill the druid here.
So does he just need to settle for
Sir Armont
maybe?
Yeah, pump the Fawn.
That's going to be it. But the Fawn does have to get tapped this turn just to get Sir Armont on the battlefield, so it won't be able to block even with the monster roll.
Right.
This is going to get ugly.
At 9?
He is. This is a big turn right now.
Francesco also has two-headed hunter in hand. That's a potential attack for 8.
Wow.
From the druid.
And Nathan could potentially just get overran by rats here if that's the end result. Hopeful Vigil plus Stroke of Midnight. Does he have an extra land?
You can just go land attack with everything.
Yes.
Right? What does Nathan do? If you block the rat, you're just dead. Because Francesco can then just go, hey, I'm going to give my 3/3 double strike, turn it into a 4/4, and that's it. Right, just plays the rat catcher trainee and gets in there. Nathan's in an extremely tough spot. Kind of just thinking, well, I guess, do I have to block the 4/4?
He's probably thinking that. This also might be the last window that he has to do so. Really tough spot for Nathan. Right. He has not been able to get his feet under him this entire game.
I just don't see how he comes back from this. Even like, let's say he blocks the 4/4 here, and that's it.
And he's going to block the rat, and that's going to be double strike for the win for Francesco. And boy, that did not work out well for Nathan Steuer. The slightest stumble there, he mulliganed to 6, missed a land drop, and he got capitalized on by Francesco.
Yeah, and again, had he had maybe the turn 2 forest to play the Root Rider Fawn, it'd be a little bit different. Francesco had a phenomenal start, though.
Really good.
That druid with removal spells, combat tricks, he kind of had it all. I think it was going to be a really tough game for Nathan to win, even if he didn't miss that land drop.
That's right. That's one of those ones where you finally get your feet under you, start playing stuff, and your opponent has an answer every single time. And you're like, really? You had it all? And that was the case here for Francesco. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, though, we do have more Magic for you. On the other side, we've got Ferber versus Méry. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to coverage here of the Magic the Gathering World Championship. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon bringing you draft coverage here early on a Friday. We're in Las Vegas. People are starting to stream into the room and take a look at what we've got going on here for our feature coverage. We just saw Nathan Steuer play his, but we've got Chris Ferber versus Théau Méry. And as you can see, one top finish between the two of them, but they both started in the same year, 2011, which to me sounds recent, but maybe isn't. That was a while ago now. And so these are two seasoned veterans, and they're sitting down ready to play. Now, interestingly, Paul, they have somewhat similar lists that also resemble the list of Nathan Steuer. They're forest-based and then touching on black and to a lesser extent white.
Yeah, greens seem to have been pretty heavily drafted at this table. A lot of green-based decks, and we even saw Francesco with the light touch of the green cards.
Now, just taking a quick look at the list, I like Chris Ferber's list best. This is heavily into green and black, and he actually comes in with a game win over Théau Méry. So that is 1-0 currently, but we're going to jump in here in game number 2, where we see Welcome to Sweet Tooth, which must have been the one that was passed.
Right.
And it made it to Méry, so he's going to be happy to see that.
Yeah, but solid start here from both sides.
Yeah, Root Rider Fawn.
And the Restless Vinestalk has been very, very impressive. I mean, all the creature lands in general, but the green ones in particular just hit so hard.
Smashing.
This one gets in for 5, and then of course the Restless Cottage as well, just getting in for 4.
Yeah, just 1 plus the number of food. Yep.
Yeah. Anytime my opponent has a Welcome to Sweet Tooth, I just look at him and I go, do I have a removal spell? I need to break this apart. I cannot give you value.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. That's a Stab Wound. Chris actually has 2 copies of that card in his deck. That comes off of the bonus sheet, and it means that the 3rd chapter kind of just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but you know, but that's how powerful this card is. Think about it. This is a 2-mana card. It generated a 1/1. It created a food, and just the threat of it having it get bigger, Ferber had to use a 3-mana removal spell to kill the token.
And a really good one.
Right.
Stab Wound is like nice. Like Stab Wound you can put on any creature and it does work. Yeah. Respect.
Respect
to the Sweet Tooth. See, this Root Rider Fawn's doing good work here for Chris so far. He's got a 3-drop lined up. Lord Skitter's Butcher, and I assume he's going to get a rat out of the deal. I don't think he wants to get rid of the Fawn just yet. Oh, and look at this.
The splashed
Bunnycorn.
Bunnycorn is fantastic. I mean, that's a 4/4.
Right now.
2-mana 4/4.
Right, and by the time it attacks, it might maybe even bigger.
Exactly. One thing to note here, by the way, on Chris's side, you look at that Vinestalk and you think, okay, maybe he's splashing blue. No. Nope.
He's splashing Vinestalk?
He's splashing Vinestalk.
Off of that Fawn or something. That's
right.
He knows.
And respect, he knows. The creature lands are extremely potent.
Yeah, and you know, the cost is a tap land, a tapped green source in his case. And that's, you're willing to pay that for a finisher. Okay, there's a Howling Galefang now for Méry.
It might hold the Bunnycorn back, but I don't think so.
Right, there's a good chance it doesn't. I mean, really any play here from Chris. 4/4 Vigilance from Méry.
It's like a nice, solidly statted 4-drop, but my 2-mana Bunnycorn gonna get you here. Looks like an Agatha's Champion here in Chris Ferber's hand. Could bargain out sacrificing the rat, but that would simply just trade with the Galefang. Not the best exchange. Could also just play it. And you have a 4/4 Trampler in play with a 5/5 in play that you can attack with. But oftentimes you just want to kind of try to get some value, try to eat something. So if he has anything else he can do, probably going to go for that.
What does he have here? Maybe Hollow Scout? No, Brave the Wilds. He's going to wake up his creature land. Now, it's still just a 3/3 though, right? Like he doesn't get
It doesn't have the ability or anything. I don't think so.
Can't.
I've never done this. So
no, I haven't seen this either. it just becomes a 3-3. Oh, and he's got a
stab wound.
Stab wound.
Line stock targets the phone.
Oh,
It- I guess it does.
work. What an
That
awesome
is
interaction.
sick. I have never seen anybody do that.
I have drafted this format a lot, Marshall, but I have not gotten to do that yet.
Usually 3.
I see. So it's not a 5-5, but it has a static ability.
11.
Whenever it
attacks,
attacks,
it's just whenever it
that
attacks.
happens. So that's what's going on.
Right. So now.
So we were kind of right, and also kind
So
of
we're
wrong.
seeing an attack with a 2 3-3s, a 5-5.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And he's now chumping?
because of the stab wound.
Unbelievable. What a swing
Wow.
here for Ferber. He was already ahead.
Who needs islands? You just have Brave the Wilds to turn it on.
That's
Right?
awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Style
super
points here
awesome.
from Mr. Ferber.
Chris Ferber putting on a show, and poor Mary's over there like, what the heck? He had a decent start.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth into Galefang.
And now he's just played back-to-back 4 drops here. Ferocious Werefox is going to hit, but it feels like when your opponent's doing 2 things a turn and you're only doing 1, you're probably not going to win.
Right. And now if Chris has a land, oh no, I guess you don't have anything to bargain anymore. So can't use the Agatha's Champion to fight the Werefox. Could just play it and just send the team.
Is he just going to activate
Oh, I turned it into
the
a,
vine? Because he would get an extra
oh no, this, okay, okay, so just making it,
2 extra power, basically.
yeah.
And then he'll turn the Butcher into a 3-3.
Yeah,
I guess
and
it's overwrite it.
Yeah, until it turns to 5/5 trap.
yep, with trample.
Yeah, he picks up Trample as well. That's right. So once again, he's offering a trade that Théau just does not want to make, but he does.
7.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that does die.
Your turn.
Hey, at least he got the bunny corn back down.
Yeah,
So
that's
3-3.
consolation prize.
Or is it only a 2-2 now? Does it just counts non-land permanents, right?
It does.
So
it is a land.
So it's still a
Yeah.
land even though it's a
So it
creature.
is a 2/2
it's
in
actually just
play,
2/2.
so.
It's actually a cute little bunny corn now.
It's reasonably sized.
It was
for
scary
now.
before, yeah.
Yeah. And we get to see that.
This vine stock has just dominated this game.
Oh, yes,
It's
it has.
unbelievable.
Okay, Beanstalk worm.
Okay, is this the one that is going to stabilize it here?
Well, remember, you can turn any creature into a 3/3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can turn the Beanstalk worm into a 3/3 and still attack, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, one target creature has base power. This Vinestock's kind of unstoppable.
I wonder where he picked that thing.
Well, I remember Nathan took the champion over the Vinestock.
Oh, he saw it?
But
Okay.
but did see it, yes. Oh.
This is a Fell Horseman.
Oh, are we giving the team menace here by getting the Butcher back? Is that enough?
Oh, that might be enough right there.
Attack. This is 3/3.
Yep.
That is exactly
enough.
what he did.
Yep.
And that's going to
man.
do it. Chris Ferber with the beatdown, the Vinestock beatdown. That thing attacked, what, 4 or 5 turns in a row?
That was so fun to watch. He just used every single mode of that Vinestock, right? It's like,
did.
hey, look, I'm going to turn into 3/3 with Brave the Wilds, attack, get him for a bunch of damage. Next turn, I have more. I'm going to turn into a 5/5, and then I'm going to pump my other thing. I mean, that Vinestock did so much work, and again, proving that it is worth it to splash these lands when you don't even have a blue card in your deck.
He didn't even tap it for blue, Paul. Like,
Right. That's
it's the easy mode. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be back at the news desk with Maria.